The experience is like a roller coaster because we didn't know until very recently that we are really going to do PANAF. So it's a big miracle that we can do this restaurant now, and it's because of everybody's efforts.
PANAF is our dream, is our platform, is a place where people meet Africa, when people interact with Africa through food, music, and even African people talking to them, you know, like interacting with them. So that's like the most important in this PANAF.
PANAF is a story. It's the story that brings the African cuisine, African culture, African arts, African opportunity to the world. We have started this journey with Kevin, Gastronomy, which is also the company that had the African food court in Dubai, Expo. We apply with the aim to get 1,000 square meters for creating a food court. But our first application didn't go through, so we have to rethink the concept and apply again. And that's how we were able to win this 420 square meter to bring together the concept of PANAF, which is beyond a restaurant.
That's also the beginning of the changing of the narrative. So until now, Africa was considering a far continent, and Japan was always talking that Africa is not the market of tomorrow, but the market of after tomorrow. But me being involved into this expo give them another, image of Africa.
I was discussing with the professor again. I said, Professor, in this situation, we know you are very well known in Japan, you have achieved a lot. Would you mind leading this, and we'll be doing the work behind? And I was very surprised by his leadership, saying, I have done a lot. I think you guys, next generation, should take the lead, and I will be behind supporting you.
I told them we should be at this expo and then try to change the narrative, try to change people's mind about Africa, and then to explain to people the Africa we want. I think it's time that Africa start to work by their own food. So that was the beginning of really my involving into PANAF.
Every day we have an average of 1,000 customers, like people who are really curious about Africa, and people enjoy. When they come, you ask them, they will say Oishi, they will say Tanoshi, it was just lively. They say, I feel the vibe of Africa, and that's what we wanted people to learn from this space.
We have our artists here, and we have the music. So even if you are stressed from wherever you come from, you can come to PANAF and we can dance together.
What I did in this PANAF is really to put African people in front of the responsibility, because we have to have the ownership of this place. So the appropriation is very important. So we don't have to wait that other people interpret our culture through, the food we don't really know.
After the Expo, we're envisioning to have a chain of restaurants with a similar concept, which is having a dining hall with a stage for performances, to have a VIP room for B2B meeting, with a shop for people to buy African products. So we want to bring this lively concept to real life after Expo, and we want to make sure we have different chains of PANAF. I don't know what will be the name at that time, of course, but we have the chains starting from Osaka, Kyoto, Tokyo, all over Japan. We want to bring this concept live. So let's think that this is an experimental time. We want to make sure people learn more about African culture and food. We want to make sure we learn whatever we would like to learn from this moment, and then we'll continue with this journey.
I think for African countries that this expo should encourage them to work more together, and then to see the global issues together, and then to have their own concept and their own insight about the world issues. It's not like just receiving, they have to give also what Africa can give. So it's very important for young African generation.
I think people will have more and more amazing days with PANAF every day.
PANAF is home. PANAF is where we support any African country, any African descent who would like to get the maximum from this Expo. So PANAF is a platform for everyone to enjoy. So beyond Africa, anyone that is friend to Africa, who believe in what we are doing, we are very happy to welcome them as a partner or sponsor or collaborate with us in different ways.
For me, this Expo, as we define, a living laboratory. So which means you come here not to see but to experience, to learn something. And then this is a good place for African countries to learn. And I encourage each African country to do their best. And also in the Expo side, I want African young people to come and meet others and then to see, how they do collaborate, together. It's about 1 or 2 generations from now, but I consider this as one of the start of African legacy.